That's pretty good.
That was cool.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Jahmal Kennedy.
And I'm Ryan Renfrow. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy athletics. The Trojan soccer team played in the first round of the Sun Belt Conference Championship Wednesday night, but the first round is where their season ended. The 8th-seeded Troy women's soccer team fell to number 1 South Alabama 1-0 in the opening round of the Sun Belt Conference Championships on Wednesday. The last 10 meetings between the schools have been decided by 1 goal. Kirsten Edlund placed the Trojans with 3 shots, while Carly Stone and Allison Watkins finished with 2 shots each. The Trojans finished the season with a 7-10-3 record. Both teams managed only 11 shots on the match, and the Trojans had 1 more shot on goal than the Jaguars did.
Tuesday night, Chandler Rigby's reigning Sun Belt Conference Championship team was back on the court for an exhibition match in Trojan Arena against the Brazilian professional team. It was a rough night for the Trojans as they fell by a final score of 92-71, but I was there and I have the highlights.
Yes, it's the start of basketball season once again, and the women's basketball team opened their 2016-17 season with an exhibition match last night in Trojan Arena against a Brazilian professional team.
Yes, what a learning experience tonight. You know, we went up against a very experienced team. Most of the ladies on that team either had a gold, silver, or bronze medal from the Olympics or had been in the WNBA, and I threw 5 freshmen out there along with a new team that's forming, and you know, we ended up losing by 20, so it's rough. We never want to lose, definitely not in Trojan Arena, but I think the uphill struggle is going to make us stronger for the climb.
And playing a professional team that has past Olympians on their roster, you would think there would be some nerves, right? Well, the players say no, but if you ask Coach Rigby, she'd say otherwise.
Everybody came with it. They weren't nervous just because we were playing professionals. So.
Not really too much nerves. I think we just was trying to like get the feel for each other mostly. So
Definitely, and just trying to mesh. Again, 5 freshmen. This is not the kind of game that you can second guess yourself on. They were second guessing, am I in the right defense? Am I in the right spot? Just not being in a groove. And again, when we would hesitate, they would kind of punch us in the mouth. That's what an experienced team does.
And although it's never good to lose, the experience the team can gain from playing a professional team from Brazil, Coach Rigby says you can't really put a value on.
I think it's invaluable. We opened up against Auburn November the 11th. Auburn is similar in length and athleticism as this team, and so it just gives us kind of like a trial run before we go play them.
On the night, it was the smallest person on the court who led the Trojans in scoring. Junior Amanda Mendoza dropped 13 for Chandler Rigby's squad off the bench, while senior Clarissa Banks was just behind with 12 points and Jayla Chills with 11. The Day sisters, Lauren and Jessie, both saw action. However, the sisters weren't able to dish out double trouble as the two never saw the court at the same time.
The volleyball team fought hard Friday night on its way to a 5-set win Friday night in Trojan Arena against Appalachian State, notching their 2nd conference win of the season. However, the Trojans couldn't pull it out on senior night Saturday as the Trojans fell to Coastal Carolina in 3 sets. The Trojans lost by scores of 15-25, 13-25, and 15-25. The Trojans fell behind early on 12-4 in the first set and could never take the lead from Coastal. The Trojans only managed to tie the Chanticleers twice, which came in the 3rd set, before Coastal went on a 10-2 run that would eventually end the game. Fitting that on senior night, senior Simone Shaw led the Trojans in kills with 9. Fellow senior Sarah Landis recorded her 500th career kill, and senior Leah Causey had 2 kills to go along with 3 blocks. Head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick was pleased with overall play of his team from the week.
No, I think we had a really good week. We had 2 great wins against South Alabama and App State, and then playing one of the top teams in the conference tonight. We saw where we're trying to get to, and we knew that they were really, really good coming in with everyone that they had played in the preseason and beaten, and what they've done in the conference. And, you know, we didn't play badly. They just played better than we did.
Although the Trojans are done on the home turf, they have 4 games remaining. In Saturday's matchup with the Chanticleers, the Trojans managed only 28 kills, while Coastal recorded 42. The Trojans committed twice the amount of errors with 22 to Coastal's 10.
The Sun Belt Cross Country Championships were held this weekend in Trojan territory, and Sean Kent gives us a look at how the Trojans team did on their home course.
As the teams head back to their respective universities, Troy has just hosted the 2016 Sun Belt Cross Country Championships here in Dothan.
The men's team finished 8th, while the women finished 10th. Coach Elliot Blount gives his thoughts on the meet.
Women actually performed the best they have on this course all season, so regardless the results didn't show, you know, we took a step back, 2 steps back in the results, you know, from 8th to 10th this year. The conference is getting better. We have to get better.
The women's side was led by senior Samantha Smith, who placed 26th with a time of 19:34, while the men were led by sophomore Bradley Dixon as he came in 28th place with a time of 26:24.
We didn't have a best race, It's a little disappointing, when you come out here and you know what you're capable of and you just fall just a little bit short, They're a resilient bunch, I'm not going to let them have a pity party and get down on themselves. We did take a small step forward in the conference, 9th place to tie for 7th this year, so we improved, but, we reached the moon. We're go-getters. We're not going to, sell ourselves short.
Appalachian State won the title for the women, while UT Arlington won their second straight title for the men. Sean Kent, Troy Trojan Vision Sports.
Many of the runners will have a little time off before they have to start training for the indoor season starting in January.
The men's golf team was swinging away in the East Bay Classic up in Kiowa Island, South Carolina on Tuesday. As a team, they finished in a tie for 8th place in what was their final tournament of the fall. Individually, senior Jared Betcher led the charge for the Trojans, finishing in a tie for 15th place after shooting a 3 over par for the event. Senior Luke Mosier finished in a tie for 44th place, and senior Clayton Van Noy finished in a tie for 48th. Senior Cam Norman had the best round on the day for the Trojans, firing a 2 under par en route to a 36th place finish.
And on the women's side, the Trojans were in Macon, Georgia for the Idle Hour Collegiate Championships, and the Trojans finished strong collectively and individually. Overall, the Trojans placed 4th in the competition, although they led going into the final day of competition. Senior Fatima Fernandez-Cano finished in a tie for 2nd place individually after shooting a 2 over 74 for the day with a pair of birdies. Both Cano and the Trojans finished just 3 shots off the leaders. Other noteworthy finishes included the Brit Becca Horner, who finished 17th on the day, and Gabby Oubre 4 spots behind at 21st. This was the final tournament of the fall for the women's golf team as well.
Now let's jump ship to the courts, the tennis courts that is, as the men's tennis team wrapped up their play at the UNCC Fall Invitational. The Trojans won 3 of 5 singles draws on the day, and freshman Amber Bedwan, sophomore Philip Manson that is, and junior Mustafa Belcoura were all winners of their brackets. Bedwan recorded a 6-2, 6-4 victory, Manson 7-5, 7-5 victory, and Belcoura got a little bragging rights over teammate Pablo Marina, as he took home the victory 5-7, 6-0, and 6-3.
And the Troy women's tennis team competed down at the Roberta Allison Classic, and boy, did they shine. On the first day alone, the Trojans had 2 doubles wins and count them 7 singles wins. And on the final day, the Trojans picked up another doubles win courtesy of the duo of Nancy Carrique and Alicia Rodriguez, defeating an SEC duo from Ole Miss 8-6. Hannah Seitzer and Luisa Ferrati also picked up a doubles victory with an 8-2 win over Mercer. In singles play, Ferrati recorded a win due to a withdrawal, and Hannah Seitzer sizzled as she recorded 2 singles wins on the day, and Alicia Rodriguez rounded out the tournament for the Trojans with a win over her opponent from Mercer.
Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan football team's matchup against Coach Brown's alma mater, UMass.
But first, Ron Renfrow sits down with football wide receiver Emmanuel Thompson. Stick around. More Trojan Sports Now is coming your way.